of good jobs in this country for years to come, what does that say about our ability to encourage future innovators and provide employment here at home? Apple's phenomenal business success has benefited only a small share of the population, unlike some of our great corporations in the past that have provided a solid, middle-class living for generations of working Americans, while also rewarding stockholders with handsome dividends. For its part, Apple decided to take the money and run. It is by no means alone, just the most visible. In fact, between 1999 and 2008, according to Tax Notes, the definitive tax publication, foreign affiliates of U.S. patent corporations increased their employment abroad by 2.4 million jobs, or 30%. During that same period, they slashed their employment in the United States by 1.9 million. If our largest and most successful corporations are no longer working for the shared benefit of American workers, then what is the future of the middle class? The skewing of the tax code in favor of the rich is a subject we have written about for years. In this book, we tabulate the unprecedented riches the preferential tax law provisions have showered on the wealthy, and we explain why they will hollow out the middle class for years to come. The well-being of the majority of Americans is also coming under assault from U.S. policies having to do with trade, regulations, and benefits. In each of these areas, we address the broader context, drawing on decades of our own research and observations. It is the cumulative impact that has been so detrimental to the middle class. Yet most of the media cover these stories as if they were isolated events, devoid of a larger significance or pattern. Unfortunately, the significance is stark. At a time when the federal government should be supporting its citizens by providing them with the tools to survive in a global economy, the government has abandoned them. It is exactly what members of the ruling class want. The last thing they want is an activist government, a government that behaves, let's say, the way China's does. Their attitude is, let the market sort it out. The market has been sorting, and it has tossed millions out of good-paying jobs. Now that same ruling class and its cheerleaders in Congress are pushing mightily for a balanced budget at any cost. If it happens, it will be secured mostly by taking more out of the pockets of working people, driving yet another nail into the middle-class coffin. The economic elite has accomplished this by relentlessly pressing their advantage, an advantage that exists for the simplest of reasons. The rich buy influence. As the divide between them and everyone else has grown since the early 1970s, the wealthy have poured more and more money into lobbying and politics in order to control the agenda. Now the 1% is plowing untold millions into political contributions and lobbying, and every effort to try to reduce the influence of money in politics has been rebuffed. With the Supreme Court Citizens United ruling of January 21, 2010, the message was driven home to the middle class that politics had become slavishly addicted to the big bucks of the moneyed class, and that the ability of average Americans to influence elected officials would be overwhelmed by that money. Now, for a price, the elite will select the candidates and bankroll the campaigns, and few politicians will be able to afford to give up the corporate dollars. Who are the members of America's ruling class? We use the term to describe an amalgam of politicians and special interests who have succeeded in making life exponentially more comfortable for the already comfortable, while simultaneously lowering the quality of life for everyone else. This book details how they have done it. The chapters form a mosaic whose overall picture is clear. The ruling class is defined by its ability to move money beyond the reach of government supervision. This has been accomplished in various ways, but the most important is arguably the establishment of a belief that government has no business in business. This creed has no basis in fact and is widely disproved by the performance of other governments around the world, but not in America. Instead, we have created the world's newest financial aristocracy, a class that has successfully put itself beyond the reach of government constraint and can do pretty much whatever it wants.